I worked in a corporate world for more than 19 years, and I climbed up the ladder with multiple promotions. I was a hiring manager for more than 12 years in Fortune 500. And unfortunately, I got laid off, and I went back. I bounced back. It was kind of hard for me to bounce back. As a 10-year folks, I did develop the framework, which was all part of job start strategy. And then I started applying to myself. And on the side, I was helping out the newcomers within Canada as well. And it started working. So I went back to the Fortune 500 again. I wanted to be comfortable. And then I decided, you know what, I think I'm much needed out there for job seekers. Imagine as a hiring manager, knowing it all, suffered a lot, like, those newcomers in Canada and all those laid off people could have so much gaps. So I decided to resign, and I decided to officially launch Teach and Do. And now I teach my lived and tested model through the program. So I've noticed that, due to COVID-19, the platform of, from onboarding, like let's say from recruiting to hiring to onboarding has changed a lot. And companies have adapted to the technology. AIs are coming a lot. So before they see the human actually interviewing, it's not happening. It's happening rarely. They have to hire people, right? Like, they need people, but then how do you go about getting those people out is by using all those pre-screening method, like simulation test. And interviewing, recorded interview, and then someone's going to look at it at the end. You got to pass it. It's like ATS is on interview now as well, right? So my advice to job seekers are, you know what, it's not only going to be resume anymore. It could be video resume. It's not going to be in-person interview. It's going to be like the video interview. You might not even get the management on this side. You're probably talking to the bots right there, and you have no idea. So start practicing those. If you are going back to the market, know the trends, especially within your industry, and research. And even the personality tests are coming in. So what kind of personality are you? Are you a right fit? Because they are trying to vet it out in an earlier process. So that way hiring costs is not going to be really high when they find out that within probation period that you're not the right fit, because that's a lot of cost, right? So they're trying to pre-screen you. You do the research as well to pre-screen them if you're the right fit. And that's going to be my advice for 2021. You have to research just the way that they are researching you. So the trends, again, it's again everything related with the AI, and I've worked personally with the clients as well. A lot of customer service world has changed. They've moved into the call center environment, right? Remote work is going to be new norm. And one thing I liked about this whole movement about diversity is coming along, so you don't have to feel that you're doing it yourself. There are people that are hiring specifically to the specific, target market, right? That's good, that's better. So you do have your voice as well in there, right? So the trends are going to be the things that you're going to be very tech savvy. There is no way that you can survive without tech now, because you have to be able to use it and adapt to the new technology. The mentality of I was always doing this way and it always worked might not work for you. So start adapting to the new trends and follow along, because that's where job seekers are lacking behind, thinking that, what, it's always been working. Just because it was working last year, that does not mean that it's going to work this year in 2021. LinkedIn post, for me, it's all about who is it for. It's always whenever I'm posting it, why am I posting it, right? What's the message I wanna provide them? So I post a lot of my personal, authentic stories, and sometimes people do tell me like, why do you get so personal on LinkedIn, right? And it's all about me being a hiring manager, starting from me coming into Canada as a newcomer and getting a degree here, and bouncing back from the student to the corporate world, right? Bouncing back from the fast food industry, factories, and getting multiple promotions, being a hiring managers, right? Like, what were the lesson I learned, right? I give them a piece, and I'm always telling them, like, listen, no job is small. Be proud of it. There's no point of hiding it. We all start from somewhere, right? And a lot of immigrant that I work with, they have insecurity, they have a self-doubt, but I do work with the tenure folks as a laid off folks as well. They have the same thing. And just because you're a newcomer landing in Canada, and just because like someone out here who's been in industry, even a hiring manager, they would have same emotions, same self-doubt. So I try to educate that by targeting my followers and my market. And it feels like they connect well when I share stories of my failures and what I would not do again. So I try to share a lot of it. And so there's always a takeaway. It's all career professionals from newcomers in Canada. They have the skills, but missing that Canadian experience. We all went through it. And how do you actually survive and bounce back? You do marketing there versus here. It's exactly the same. Just the way you do it in the different culture is, something different. That's where I come in and educate them. What happens in corporate world. So I've been blessed that I've been a part of hiring team. I was a hiring manager, so I know what goes on. I've hired people like that, newcomers, right? I've seen their, the strengths and weaknesses, and I'm extremely blessed that I can share that. And also, when I became a job seeker, I can share that as well. Listen, like, I was a hiring manager forever, but at the same time, to get back, writing a resume was a big deal for me. So I had to learn how to please the ATS, right? So they come from the environment where pictures and date of birth and you're married or not, gender is something normal, right? And people don't actually think it through here. That's completely not normal here. There's a discrimination factor. So it's like, it's a human right. It's, the human resources, challenges and everything. Those things that I'd like to educate, and they kind of think that, oh, that's an eye opener. I never thought that. And it makes me feel good that whether you're experienced versus newcomer, you're all going through the same challenges. It's just how you do it that matters.